do it. All right, so before we go full water balloon mode, and only those of you who are here live understand that reference, which is just a blessing. Before we dive into your subconscious and really open up where in your subconscious your feminine seat is and what parts of your subconscious have not yet allowed themselves to sit there. Before we dive into that, I would like to formally and cordially invite you into the first ever signature program that I developed as an entrepreneur. And lots of you know it. It's called Radiance Revealed. And this will be the 5th round of this offer. And it is the round that, you know, already, as I've begun to open my eyes to it, it's got me like palms sweating. Holy shit. I'm so honored and excited to go through this experience. I'm not going to share very much about it with you, but I am going to share the 6 modules with you, and I just threw them in the chat. So the 6 modules of this round of Radiance Revealed, which will be starting in July, are Module 1, the feminine and women. Module 2, the feminine and the father. Module 3, the feminine and money. Module 4 is the feminine and sex. Module 5 is the God-soaked woman. And Module 6, which is also the tagline of this round of Radiance Revealed, is called Raw Hot Power. And I had chills on my arms saying this body of work and this offer is my transmission of womanhood and of what I perceive and experience and practice to be true, authentic womanhood. And that means everything, right? To me, that does mean everything. And I'm really excited to walk that with some of you. And I know that some of you will be inside of this space, and something that I'm very excited about. Naturally, duh, I have a deal for you. Obviously, this program will run at $1,800 for you guys for 1 to 2 days. I have not landed on that full answer yet. It's going to be less than $1,000. So if y'all want to get in on a hot price of $697, darling, you will sign up at the link and I will send it to you and we will have a grand old time. There's my pitch. That's what I got for you. And if you have any questions, obviously you can always drop them in the chat or drop them in the thread. But that piece aside, I am ready. I am ready to dive in with you into this, this trance space. And what I want to invite you into before we begin is just look around your space. Take a little glance over both shoulders. And just notice, is there anything that myself wants to shift about this space so that I can settle in a little bit more? Maybe you're like, I kind of want to lock the door. Or maybe you're like, I want to open that window. Or maybe you want to light a candle, right? So just give your space a 360 look and just notice if there's anything that you feel inclined to shift about your space so that you might settle in a little bit more easily. Maybe it's something that you're editing about the way that you're settling in. So maybe you grab a bolster. This experience can be done seated. It could be done seated, definitely. With a nice tall spine, you might like lean against the back headboard of a bed or a couch. That might be nice. Being seated is nice because you're very unlikely to fall asleep. That being said, you could also take this experience lying down. And I will do my best to cue your subconscious to not drop too deep into sleep. So just start to get yourself settled in here. You got a good couple of minutes to kind of take your time. I'm laughing, I'm looking at these modules, which I'm so excited for in Radiance Revealed. And I think one of the beautiful things about low ticket offers, which this is, the feminine seat is a low ticket offer. This is a mid ticket offer, Radiance Revealed. one of the beauties about low ticket offers is that you, especially those of you who are new to this space, which lots of you are, the beauty about low ticket offers is that you might have come in here and been like, you know what, Ellie, I don't really like your voice. You'll definitely know if you like my voice or not after this transmission here, right? That's the beauty of low ticket offers, I believe, is it gives people the opportunity. It gives you the opportunity. If you have a business, it gives other people the opportunity to say, do I even like you? Do I even like you as a teacher? Do I even like you as a facilitator? And that's the beauty of it. Yeah. Definitely after this call, I think you'll be able to tell if you're like, I like your style or I don't like your style very much. And that can be a great indicator for whether or not people end up wanting to come deeper and deeper into your world. So I will turn my camera off here. You're welcome to do the same. And I want you to notice that when you do, something happens. Thank you. Something happens to your energy body when you turn your camera off. And how I notice it is actually that in a way, camera off in a virtual space like this, it naturally sits me further back in my seat. And you might notice that when you're being perceived on a camera, your energy body, your primal system, the cultural system has the tendency to throw itself forward, to put high perception out in the front, right? This is what we've been talking about inside the feminine seat this week. It's these tendencies, these inclinations, these patterns, these behaviors that have been learned to throw the energy out into the front body, out into the front field, to detect, right? Detecting, how do I look? What do I look like? What are other people doing? What are other people looking like? How are they perceiving me? And then when we turn cameras off, it naturally just allows my energy body, I'll say, to come back into its seat, even just a little bit more naturally, even just a little bit more fully. Let me know in the chat if you notice that. And when you turn your camera off, you just naturally kind of fell back into your seat a bit more. This baby is moving around. Yeah, 100%. Cool. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing. One more thing that I will need you to be in the chat for, and that is I'm going to put on some tunes, darlings. And what I will want you to tell me is if I would like you to tell me is if you can hear the music well along with my voice. And I will let me know like this. Let me know if you can hear like a tone in the background along with my voice. You can just let me know in the chat and just say yep or nope. Music is low. How is about this? Just letting me know if you can hear the tone in the background. And then if you can also hear my voice. Yeah, I can go a little higher. Like this. Do you like it like this? Not hearing the music yet. Yes. A resounding yes. Okay. Do one thing. All right. Let me know how the combination right now of the voice and the sound is. You can give me a like, ooh, that's nice. Ooh, perf. We got a perf in here. Let's go. All right, my loves. So I'm gonna just edit that around for a moment for my own liking. So you just take these next few cycles of breath in this next minute or so to really start settling yourself in. Really start settling yourself in. You're going to pick your posture, pick where you want to be. Choose if you want to be seated or lying down. And as you arrive where you want to arrive, you're going to take some big, full, noisy breaths. Ha, 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 ha. Just to let yourself make some big, noisy breaths. And taking inhales that expand your ribs out to all sides. And exhales that just melt your forehead, your shoulders, your face, palms of your hands, and the soles of your feet. We've got so much time for you to drop in. We've got so much time for you to settle and shift and adjust in your body, as you will notice you already have started to. You'll notice that your body has already just naturally started to shift and adjust itself in to get itself a little bit more and more comfortable here. Like your body knows where it's going. And that's because it does. Like your body, your field knows what's coming in these next minutes. And that is also because it does. Your body, your field is in fact so much larger than your physical form. And that large field actually knows that it's not just in physical space that it's larger, it's also in time. That if you saw your physical body on a timeline, your energetic body, your true form is larger. It's like a larger circle that encircles the dot of your physical body on that timeline. Your physical body, a single point on this timeline, but your energetic body, this larger circle that reaches forward and back, not just in space physically, but on the timeline. That's why your body knows how to shift and adjust and move, how it's moving through your shoulder blades, how it's adjusting and settling through your hips. Your body's just going to continue this process on its own, shifting and adjusting as it will. As you start to notice your breath. Maybe your breath is sounded, maybe it's loud. Maybe your breath is small and soft. But as you just start to notice that breath, you'll notice that on its own, it just starts to move towards and tend towards its most normal and most natural pace. You don't have to press your breath into that pace. It'll actually, through the minutes of this time together, it'll actually just arrive there. In the same way that, the sun just arrives at its midday height, your breath will just arrive at its normal and natural cadence because it's normal and it's natural. It tends toward it. All things tend toward this natural cadence. This next inhale is going to be nice and full and big and bright and good. And the exhale just starts to drop you down a little bit further into your seat. Maybe even at the top of this next breath in, you might give yourself your command word, your command phrase. And notice that with ease, it just drops you a little bit further. And before we go any further into this wide, wavy place we're going, into this safe place that we're going, before we go any further, we're just going to extend one more invitation, friends, and that invitation is to your mind, to your listening mind, and we're going to let your mind know here that during this time, over the course of these minutes, your mind is totally free to wander and drift, as it certainly will. That your mind is free to move closer to or further from my voice at any time. And that this is perfectly fine because, again, we're working with a different part of you, a deeper part of you, one that is always here and is always listening, a part of you that is here now already listening and attuning and learning. A part of you that knows exactly which words to tune in closely to, which words and phrases would be most ideal for you to hear on this day, at this time, in this moment, today. It knows. And so, with your body continuing its own process of shifting and adjusting, maybe dramatically, this is not a stillness competition, in fact. Maybe those movements, the adjustments of the body are more subtle, more internal. But as the body continues this process of shifting and adjusting, y'all, and as your breath continues to settle into its normal and natural rhythm, and as your mind already starts to realize and trust that it really can wander and drift, you'll start to notice soon this really easy, soothing, pleasant sensation arriving around the top of your head. And you'll just watch as this sensation starts to smooth over your forehead, your temples, sides and the back of your head. And slipping down the strands of your hair, from your eyebrows to the lids of your eyes, just soothing and softening here. And right away, you notice that this sensation is not like a damp, heavy, sleepy cloth per se, but it's more like a wide, warm darkness. A familiar softness. One that doesn't make you want to sleep necessarily, but one that makes you realize just how deeply comfortable you can be. The sensation that's just passed over the top of your head and your brows, and your temples. The sensation that starts to weave along the fibers of the muscles of your eyes, the ones around and behind your eyes. down the bridge of your nose and out across your cheeks to the corners of your lips, this sensation wrapping itself around your ears, around the base of your skull. Finding a breath in, and as it exhales, the sensation then comes to the center, sweeping into the center of your skull, filling the space of your mind with its easy softness. And from the corners of the mouth and the lips down over the chin, it spills down into your throat now, the four sides of your neck all finding their most comfortable, easy length. As you just watch, breath continuing nice and easy, as this sensation passes over your collarbones to your shoulders, over your shoulder blades, and slides down your upper arms. This easy, comfortable sensation weaving into your elbows and into your forearms and wrists, inside your wrists, into the palms of your hands, the back side of your hands, all the way down to your fingertips. It sweeps over your thumbs. You notice how that breath really is what's keeping you fresh as the sensation continues from the shoulders, from the throat, down into the upper chambers of your chest now. Your heart and lungs even starting to soften open into this pleasant sensation. Easy function. From your armpits down the sides of your waist, from the top of the spine down now, and as it moves down the vertebra of the spine here, sweeps along the ribs, from the back up to the front, up to the sternum, sweeping around the chamber of your chest. This easy, pleasant sensation. And the space of your forehead again smooths, and the gums that hold the teeth even soften here. As your breath continues and you just keep watching as this sensation keeps moving down the spine easily into the mid-back, filling the upper belly now, weaving into the lower belly along the waist, all the organs here now softening into their most easeful, effortless functions. The front wall of the belly, the sides and that back-facing wall, all just coated in this pleasant, relaxing sensation. And to just watch the shoulders soft as this sense just continues to weave and wind its way into the bowl of your pelvis now, down and down, into the wide bowl of your pelvis from left all the way to the right side. From the front wall of the pubic bone all the way back to the very tip of your spine. And you'll notice on this next exhale that it's almost like the space of your pelvis widens even just a subtle bit. If not physically, then in a more subtle way. The organs here softening into their natural, eased forms. That softness just weaving its way down through the womb, through the cervix. And then widening out along the bottom of the pelvic floor. Around the glutes, this easing sensation, just unlocking any tensions that were gripped in the fibers of the muscles here. Watching as it continues into these pockets of your pelvis where your femurs plug in. The tissues here softening, opening, as if they were sitting up and now they get to just lay down. And from the glutes, down the backs of the thighs, the sides and the front of the thighs, these muscles loosening their grips on your bones. As you just watch now, breath still here, still wake. As the sensation moves from your upper legs around your knees, behind your knees, even the space inside of your knees softens open here. As you just casually watch the sensation slip down into your lower legs, your calves and your shins, into your ankles, literally into the space of the joints of your ankles, sliding over the tops of your feet and the Achilles and the heels, the soles of the feet yawning open as it slips all the way down past the toes. You'll find this next breath in just feels so easy. And then the following breath out just softens you another level down into your own easy relaxation. And maybe here you want to give your command word one more time, just as a way to connect this state where your body is settled, your being is settled. You even notice here that in just a handful of minutes, your body has arrived at this just nice level of relaxation. But that again, it just doesn't stop at the physical edge of your physical body, but that this sensation of ease and of comfort, this safety, it actually extends past your physical body. It extends out to the left and out to your right. Just this feeling of good, this feeling of yes, into the space behind you, deep into that space behind you, and out into the space in front. That it extends gently above your head, above your crown, and down below your base, below your root. Your next exhale brings again another level of easy relaxation that your body drops down into. And you'll find that a different, more subtle part of your body, part of your being, finds deeper ease in knowing that hours of prayer have gone into building the safety of this space. Body shifting and adjusting as it will. Breath moving normally and naturally here. The mind free to drift. Not worrying about needing to stay too close to my voice. And yet knowing that my voice is also traveling this journey with you. And if you're open to that, you might even just give your internal yes to allow my voice to travel with you. You find yourself soon either sensing or on the inside seeing, or perhaps imagining a simple but lovely room. This room has little decor. There's a certain bareness to it, but it's fresh and it's lovely, this room that you find yourself in. You can feel familiarity in this room, safety in this room, and it feels nice, feels good. And you might just look around and notice what you notice here in this simple room. Perhaps you notice a solitary piece of artwork hung on a wall. Or a simple sheet of fabric hung next to a window. Your jaw soft, the space around and behind your eyes relaxed, even the space between your ears soft. As you just take another breath, noticing here. You look down at yourself now soon, and you see yourself also dressed in a similar fashion as the room is dressed. Simply. Taking another breath in and finding the breath out comfortable, easing you, settling you back into your seat. And as it does, as this exhale settles you into that seat a bit further, you feel a literal seat. And as you look or notice this seat, you notice that this seat is a chair, in fact, that you're seated in inside of this simple and plain room. And that it does indeed match the sweet simplicity in this space. Maybe it's made out of a simple light wood. Maybe it's a basic folding chair. And just finding that your next breath in again feels nice, and the exhale, you just settle even more. And as you just take these last few moments, these last few breaths, or rather these next few breaths, looking around, you can feel the sweetness of the room. You can feel the simplicity, the lightness. But you'll also begin to notice soon, somewhere deep in your body, a longing. And you might notice it like a pressure, or like a throb, or like a light, or like an object. You don't have to force anything here. But soon you will notice a place in your body that just says, I want. I want.
I want a flower there in the corner, or I want to paint the door, or I'd love something soft here beneath my feet. I want something. A cool drink next to me, or a warm cup of tea, or somebody's hand in mine. I want. And as you breathe, you're just going to notice that that sensation in your body starts to breathe. It starts to expand. It starts to grow wider inside of you. And maybe you see it like roots cracking through rock. Maybe you see it like heat or flame expanding. Just notice. Forehead soft. Still in your seat. You take another breath in here. The exhale settles you. As you look forward now and you notice the door to the room. Maybe you noticed it before, maybe you just noticed this door. But suddenly you begin to sense an approaching. You sense something approaching, and it's not that it's dangerous per se, but the throbbing power of what approaches this door starts to pulse in the room. It is undeniable, the power of what is approaching this door. You don't know what it is, and maybe a part of you cowers at it, but there's larger parts of you that almost lean forward in anticipation of what is coming. Your breath is bright and wide as the sensation, the pulsing, the power of what's approaching the door starts to heighten, it starts to peak. You take a breath in, white bride. And as you exhale, the door swings wider open and God steps in the room. The power that you witness in whatever form just entered, maybe it's as a being, a person, maybe it's as an animal, maybe it's completely formless, bright light. But the power of what just stepped in this room fills the room entirely. And God, the divine, the creator, looks into your eyes. You breathe in. And as you breathe out, God smiles and the chair you're sitting on shatters. And in fact, the entire room around you shatters. And you're falling. Back and back and back and down and down and down. Falling and falling and falling further than you thought it would be possible. You fall for just a few more moments, and maybe you look around at what you're falling through. Maybe it's darkness, maybe it's images, maybe it's a place. Notice, no wrong way to see. Until in just a few moments, you land. And when you land, you feel a deeper seat than you have ever felt before. And as you look down at what you've landed in, you see a throne. Your back body is anchored to this throne like a magnet. Every cell in your back body magnetized to the atoms of the surface of this throne. Notice the look of the throne you're seated in. It's yours, it's different than any other woman's. Maybe yours is covered in purple velvet and jewels and rubies the size of your fist. Maybe yours is sculpted in the clay of the earth, or woven with sweetgrass and flowers. You'll notice that as you sit in this throne, in this seat, something happens to your body, and in particular, something happens to your womb and your spine. Something deeply and profoundly good. You begin to look around soon at the place that you have landed. A place that pulses with a similar power that you felt as God approached that door. Just noticing what is in this space that you've landed in. Perhaps the room is gilded with gold or covered in the most beautiful creative arts. Maybe there's paintings on the walls. Maybe there's no walls at all in this space. Maybe this throne sits on a hilltop in the jungle, or on a star in the middle of a spiraling galaxy. Just notice what is here for you. Don't have to force any thoughts here, any images here. Just let it come to you. Your next breath in is bright and wide. And as you easy breathe out, you realize that God is standing in front of you. And that again, God is looking right at you with the most love, the most grace, the most honor and respect. And as your face and chest soften, as your shoulders melt from your ears, as your hands and feet and womb, cervix open like blooming flowers, God speaks to you. And God says that chair that you were seated in before, that you thought was your seat, that is not your seat. God says to you, this is your seat. You can feel the seat, the throne beneath you, the one magnetized to your back body, made for you. And God says, I made this for you. I made this for you. And the seat that you thought you were meant to inhabit before, the simple one, it was beautiful. It was beautiful and it was good and it wasn't trying to harm. And yet God says that seat, that room that you were seated in before, it pales in comparison to this thing that I have created for you. And as God continues to pour love through their eyes, through their being, power through their being toward you, radiating out in every direction, God says, there is not someone to blame for the seat you thought was yours. For it is not men who built it for you and put you there. And it is no political body that placed you in that false seat. It is no school or teaching that put you there. But rather, God says it was simply fear. It was fear that kept you in the small seat, in the shallow seat. Fear of your own and fear of every human that has existed before you. Fear of the power of the place that you now sit, your true seat, your throne. You feared it. Others feared it. But as God looks at you now, you hear them clearly as God says, yet you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. You are safe here. You are safe to be here in this place of pulsing power. You breathe in soon, fresh and bright. Your exhale settles you even more naturally into this true seat, this deep seat. And as you do, you turn one palm open, up. And as you do, God approaches you. And in your hand, God places a gift. And God says this gift is a reflection, a key to your gift. And you notice what God's placed in your hand. Maybe it's a stone, maybe it's a piece of paper with a word on it, something that alludes to your gift. Perhaps you keep this gift in your hand, maybe you place it in a pocket. And maybe as you've just looked down, perhaps you notice what you're wearing here. Perhaps it's a simple yet beautiful linen dress with a line of stones down the center. Maybe it is a gown dripping in diamonds. Maybe it is nothing at all. Maybe you're dressed in a cloak of stars. Just notice, no wrong way to see. Your breath moves normally, naturally here as you look up again, and God still stands here in front of you, and God says, I have one more thing for you. Open your other hand. And you do. And as this image of God, however God is presenting themselves to you in this moment, reaches their being or their hand out to you, before they drop this second thing in your opposite hand, they say to you, God says to you, this gift is a key, is a reflection, is a hint at who you truly are. Your true identity. This gift is a symbol of how I see you, God says. How I see you. And with your palm upturned, God places this second gift in your hand. And you notice. And you don't try to work this gift with your mind or with your logic. You just notice what is here. What was placed here. And maybe you hold this other gift in your hand. Maybe you tuck it in your clothing somewhere or somewhere else. Whatever you feel is right here. And as you're ready now, you'll just find that there feels to be some natural way to close with this most powerful being, this creator, the creator in front of you. Some way to express your gratitude, your thanks for the truth given, the gifts given. And just taking another breath to close with God in this way. As soon the image, the being in front of you begins to dissolve in a beautiful fashion, in a beautiful manner. And you're left soon with the pulsing power of God in these gifts. The pulsing power of this space, the magnet of the throne behind you, anchored to your back body, to every cell of the back of your head and shoulders and arms, to the backs of your spine, the muscles along the flat of your back and your butt and your legs. Your cells will never forget the sensation of your throne. And to close, you might one more time say your command word here. knowing that this is your place. And soon, sunlight begins to beam down in rays from the top of the space above you. Almost like a cloud has shifted out of the way so that the most potent of the beauty of the sun can beam down into this space. And the rays begin to expand wider and wider and wider, and as they do, the image begins to dissolve around you, but the sensation of this place remains. The power, the safety, the vastness, perhaps, the beauty, the wonder. And as the image recedes, you begin to notice the physical room that you are in right now. Maybe you notice where your body's in contact with the floor under your butt or under your back. Maybe you notice or see if you can sense, even without your eyes, the four walls of the room around you in this present moment. Finding that your next couple of breaths, your inhales, it's like they begin to awaken you even further. Confidence fills you. Wakefulness fills you. These inhales, excitement maybe thrills you, or maybe it's easy relaxation that fills you. These inhales like cool water, waking you back to this moment. And soon you'll just begin to find movement. Your body may be moving, weaving, stretching, rolling, sounding. And if there's any last thing that you need to do to close this experience with yourself, maybe it's hands to your chest or to your eyes. Maybe it's the hands in a prayer and just a thank you out loud, whatever it is. Just notice if there's any final way to close for you. And then taking your time. Taking as much time as you need. But as you're ready, you will slowly come back into visual contact with your space. Your eyes will slowly find their way open. You're just looking around your space as you do. And if it is maybe a journal that you want to come to, or maybe it's the chat that you want to come to, I'm going to keep the chat and this call on for a few more minutes. And see if you can just write down the details of your experience. Maybe it's what you saw in that first room. Maybe it's how God appeared to you in this vision. Maybe it's what the throne that you sat in looked like, what the room you were in looked like in that true place, that true deep place. Maybe it's the clothing that you saw. And then definitely describing the gifts that you were given. The one gift that was a hint or a reflection of your gift. and then the other that was a reflection of your true identity. The beautiful thing about these processes and these places is that this stuff might make perfect sense to you in this exact moment. This vision, these images, they might come to you in 2 years. So just taking your time. I'm going to shut up for a while. And just writing. I saw tending to my own plants, to my own garden with tenderness. Tending, love that word. A throne of flowers. Keep the room open for about 2 more minutes or so here. Would love to hear in the chat. Otherwise, would love to have you toss whatever you're journaling into our thread.
Recording in progress.
All right, loves. So good to be here with you live. Thank you for the opportunity to dive on down with you. Like I said, definitely would love to hear what was coming through for you, the imagery, the visuals, the vision, the sense. And you're welcome to toss that in the chat. Let's go. Here we go. I imagine sitting outside near water with a light breeze and sun on my body. A deep sense of ease and supportive resources are available to me at any given time. No rush to be anywhere at a certain time. I neutrally observe what is happening around me and respond with love and compassion. Yes. Supportive resources available to me at any given time. Yeah. My first gift was a pet electric eel. My second gift, a tiny ball of flying light like a lightning bug. This was so powerful. Thank you. Yes. I love that. A pet electric eel reflective of your gift. And like I said, y'all, this, especially with the gifts, these might make perfect sense right now. They might take contemplation. And they likely will take contemplation. And so what I want to invite you into is to just spend 10-15 minutes with a journal or with notes. And just begin your contemplation of what this vision means. The sense of what this vision means about your gifts, about who you are, about who God sees you to be, your true identity. Yeah. Okay. I will see you in the chat. The Feminine Seat thread, the Telegram thread, will be open for another week for you to dive into any recordings that you missed, any audio trainings that you wanted to double down on. Definitely recommend watching the recordings more than once if you are able, especially the more lecture heavy one. And I'll have more details for you about RR in there as well. So good to be here with y'all. Take care of yourself today. If you can integrate, go lay on the ground, go look at a tree, go drink a glass of water. Yeah, go put your feet on the earth. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye, loves.